In the last video, we learnt about various important battles of World War I. Now in this video we will ponder upon the consequences of the Great War. World War I, massive war which caused a lot of destruction and loss of life and property. The major consequences of the First World War are: economic consequences. World War I costed the participating countries a lot of money. Germany and Great Britain spent about 60% of the money their economy produced. Countries had to raise taxes and borrow money from their citizens. They also printed money in order to buy weapons and other things they needed for war. This led to inflation after the war. The Allies wanted reparations from the Central Powers, because they were responsible for starting the war. Economy all across Europe broke down. Companies had to close because men left their jobs to fight in the army. When they came back, there were no jobs left for them. Other businesses specialized in producing weapons. After the war, they had nothing else to sell. During the war, governments controlled the economy more than before. The United States entered the war very late. It did not suffer destruction the way European countries did. Political consequences. World War I brought an end to 4 monarchies: Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, Emperor Charles of Austria, and the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire had to step down. New countries were created out of old empires. Austria-Hungary was carved up into a number of independent states. Russia and Germany gave land to Poland. Countries in the Middle East were put under the control of Great Britain and France. Whatever was left of Ottoman Empire became Turkey. The US, which had won the war but had not experienced the conflict on its territory, became a first world power. Social consequences. World War changed society completely. Birth rates declined because millions of young men died. 8 million died, millions wounded, maimed, widows and orphans. Civilians lost their land and fled to other countries. The role of women also changed. They played a major part in replacing men in factories and offices. Many countries gave women more rights after the war had ended, including the right to vote. The upper classes lost their leading role and authority in the society. The youth of the middle and lower class demanded a say in forming their country after the war. Treaty of Versailles. On June 28, 1919, World War I officially ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles was an attempt to prevent the world from going into another war. You will learn more about this topic in the next video of World War I series. Other important social and ideological changes. The mass mobilization of men led to the incorporation of women into the workforce, which was the Great Famine of Mount Lebanon, 1915 to 1918, was a period of mass starvation during World War I that resulted in 2 lakh deaths was also a major consequence. The triumph of the Soviet Revolution, Russian Revolution, and the social crisis that followed the war encouraged workers in many countries to protest, creating a pre-revolutionary climate. The extreme nationalism experienced during the war, coupled with fear of a communist revolution, encouraged the middle-class populate signs of some countries to move to the extreme right. This created a hotbed of fascist movements. The colonies under Germany were shared. Germany returned Alsace-Lorraine to France and it had to give up the Saar coalfield. Germany gave independence to the city of Danzig by giving up the Polish corridor. Abolishment of the monarchy in Germany, Turkey, Russia, Austria, and Hungary. The independence movements were strengthened in the various occupied countries of Asia and Africa. The Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, also became independent countries. Creation of the League of Nations. The League of Nations was an international diplomatic group developed after World War I as a way to solve disputes between countries before they erupted into open warfare. A precursor to the United Nations, the League achieved some victories but had a mixed record of success. You will learn more about this topic in the next video of World War I series. War will exist until that distant day when the conscientious objector enjoys the same reputation and prestige that the warrior does today.